Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Oscar coming to you with a new episode in my series Let's Play Life is Feudal Your Own. Today I'm going to show you all the living houses available at this point here in Life is Feudal, beginning from the smallest shack to the multiple story huge stone houses you can build later on in the game after, well, unlocking the necessary skills and getting all the stuff together and so on and so forth. In this video and the next I'm gonna be in Game Master mode, just because I want to show you all the buildings, but I'm not actually going to use them here on my server in my village, and so I don't wanna grind all the stuff together, collect all the resources and so on to build them and spend the time to actually build them. Also, I can build, quote unquote, build them rather fast in Game Master mode just by clicking one button. So, also note that the buildings, all the houses I'm going to show you now are requiring flattened ground to be built on. Normally, but not in Game Master mode. If you look around here, I've already set down all the foundations for the buildings, the groundworks, to save some time. And well, probably you get an idea why I didn't terraform all the areas here for the buildings, which I gonna destruct afterwards anyways. So, okay. All houses, or houses in general, have the purpose of serving as a spawn point for one, for one up to 16 players, depending on their size. The first building, or first two buildings that will be available to you in Life is Feudal will be shacks. They need 4x4 tiles, flat ground. As skill, you need construction material preparation at 60, and you will get one spawn point, or room for one player to spawn or live in this house. So let's look at the required materials. Just some boards and some building blocks for the wooden version. Let's see how this one looks. Was it this key? Yep, zip. This is the first and kind of easiest house to build. If you look at it, this little cloth thingy here is actually the door. I've heard or heard of people that, I don't know, stood like here and tried to get an option to actually open this. No, this is just a little shack with some cloth hanging as well, a makeshift door. With the same requirements in terms of materials, no, not materials, but in size, player, room for players and so on. You've got the another version of the tiny shack, which is the tiny plaster shack, requiring some building blocks and a bunch of clay, which is in my opinion easier to acquire than the wooden boards. No trees to chop down, less tools to get those. Well, kinda easier in my opinion to build. Also, I think it is looking a bit better like this. Again, same as in the wooden version, it only has a cloth hanging here as the door. Okay, the next tier of buildings would be small houses. They come in two versions as well, the wooden and the stone version. They require 5x5 tiles, flat ground, and have room for 3 players. And it's pretty much also the reason why you actually wanna build bigger houses at some point, because they just save up room in terms of ground tiles. So let's say you have built a castle with, say, 10 people, with your community of 10 people. It would be not really space efficient if you would build 10 shacks, one for each player. It would be like 4x4, 116 tiles, just with those little checks here. In space used up that you have to terraform, that you maybe have to fortify with walls and stuff. So you can or should build bigger buildings if you can, to just save ground, so to say. Okay, let's look into those buildings, into the materials. This is a bit, bit more complex. Some materials here required that are actually a bit harder to come by. Building logs is rather easy to get, just chop down some trees. Also, it's quite a lot for these small, or for the wooden houses in general. Just as a reference, a quality 100 oak tree will give you 12 building logs, which is the highest you can get out of one tree. So 200 is quite a lot. Metal bands, they are rather easy to make. Doors or door modules are a bit harder to come by because they require locks, which are made out of steel, which is a bit harder to get. You need flux, you need advanced smelting stuff and so on. Okay, next thing, the windows also, that's rather easy to get. You pretty much just need a carpenter's workbench, or a carpenter's toolkit will do as well, I think at least. To make those you need some wooden components as well as glass, which is made in a kiln. Rather easy to make, you just need some sand and drop it, put it in a kiln, smelt it into glass, and you are done. And then you need some ropes, which are rather hard to come by. You need to get flax seeds, you gotta plant this, wait for quite a while, then actually have the skills to process the flax stems into flax fibers and those into actual ropes. So quite some work coming here on you, but still it is more efficient. They are 5x5 tiles and have place for 3, or enough room for 3 players. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Shebang, there we go. Here is the house, the small wooden house, which is the first one that comes with an actual door. Can go inside, take a look around. It's actually quite really nice. I really like the artworks, all the details the guys from Bitbox, guys and girls from Bitbox put into this, like those little metal bands thingies on the door, the carvings on the door frame, and so on. Just a little wardrobe hanging here, all kinds of nice stuff, even with some little attic kind of thingy up there with some extra storage. You can't go there, but it looks nice. So next building, the same, but in its stone version or plaster version. Here again, you need some building logs, far less than its wooden version, which makes sense. Then you need some mortar. It's hard to make. I've actually got a video out on how to make mortar. Look into this. It requires some time. Door module as well. Need some steel. Windows, I've just said. Clay tiles also rather easy to make. You need like 1 clay per 1 tile. You can make 10 at once. So, yep, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's have a look at this one. Zip. Yeah, in my opinion, it's it's a matter of taste which one you like more. If I just compare those two, I kind of like the wooden version a bit more. This one here looks a bit bland, in my opinion at least. So, from the inside they are pretty much the same. They've got the same floor plan. Let's check this real quick. Yeah, again, 2 rooms, there's a little makeshift attic over here and some stuff. The same door no, not actually the same door model. Oh, they've got an ugly door here. I like the other more. Okay. So, To repeat, it's 5 by 5. You can live with 3 people in this, and you need construction at 60 to build those 2 houses. The next size would be medium buildings, houses which require 60 points in masonry. They fit. You can live with 5 players, up to 5 players in one, and they've got a. They need 4 by 6 tiles, flattened ground to live on. Okay. Okay, look, inside it's pretty much the same kind of resources needed for the smaller version as needed for the smaller version, I meant. But, well, obviously more components in quantity-wise. So, let's see how this one looks when it's built. Zip. Actually starting to look like an actual house and not like some, I don't know, poor man's hut. Again with the nice door. Open this one up. And this one is the first building that goes over multiple, in this case 2 stories. Can put all kinds of stuff in here, such as beds, chests, and so on and so forth. Okay, the other thingy is the stone version of the medium house. Let's see, also again pretty much the same as the small version of the plaster house. Just like, I think it's pretty much double the amount of components needed. Actually got a bit bad throat those days, sorry for that. Let me just drink something real quick. With the medium houses, actually it starts that the buildings become something like a real team effort. Building those alone will take some time. As well as you need several professions to actually build them. You need, of course, someone in the terraforming and so on tree, you know, with terraforming, materials preparation, construction and so on, to actually build this house and build some of the components, such as the glass, the clay tiles, the mortar. Then you need a woodworker, carpenter to get building blocks and to make the doors and the windows. And to make the door, in this case, you need a blacksmith for, I think it's metal bands, and the lock you need for this one. So, yeah, almost everyone is involved. You even need an alchemist to get flux to make mortar and the lock for the doors. So, that's no, not all professions needed here. The farming, cooking stuff and so on isn't involved here in the building. So let's have a look at this one. Yeah, getting nicer. Pretty much the same floor plan again as in the wooden version, but well, another, how should I say, a texture. Again with 2 stories, with rooms in the first story on each side. So that's the medium houses. And there is another, well, variation of the medium houses which are bigger. They require 60 points in masonry as well, but have room for up to 10 people. They need 5 by 8 5 by 8 tiles on the ground, flat again, and require this components, which is getting a bit more. Remember, 1 quality 100 oak will give you 12 building blocks, so this is quite a lot. And you also get, out of 1 quality 100 oak, it's 60 boards. So quite some trees you have to chop down only for the boards and the logs. Then you need some more wood for the door and the windows. So, well, there's quite some stuff going into this one. But again, it has room for a lot of players. It's on what's this, 5x8, so 40 tiles in total for 10 players. Just to compare, if you would build 10 shacks, you would need 160 tiles, so 4 times the space. Okay, let's see how this one looks completed. And this is starting to get really beautiful. You know, you got a little, what's that, chimney up there, a little, oh, I don't know the English word for this, you know, this wind direction thingy you see on top there, some little flags, and so on. Also, you got a balcony kind of thing up here, and way more rooms in the inside. And go up there, almost like some sort of apartment house with a outside stair thingy going on. Some rooms here for the yeah, people that are actually living here. Another balcony. So really, really nice looking. Every time I okay, there's a way out. Yeah, that's the what was the exactly, the big wooden house, and I'm sure it has a door right here. Okay, yeah, big wooden house, and then we've got the I think my horse will get in the way. Let me just put it on the side a little bit. Zit. Okay, the stone version, this is the one that I've actually chosen for my village here on the server, because I like the looks of it, and well, 10 players, having up to 10 players in my village is more than enough room. 5 would be, yeah, could be complicated, but 10 is like okay. So I only need like 40 tiles as living space in my village. So that's kind of okay. So yeah, again, I've gone over this instead of boards. This version needs walks, 600, easy to get. In my opinion, easier to get than the boards for the other version, but well. So let's have a look at this one. What was the button? Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much the same model or the same form as the wooden version, but obviously made of stone. But except that they are pretty much the same. They've got the same floor plan, so I'm not going to run through this house again because, well, I'm now almost 20 minutes into the video and don't want to show you the same model over and over again, and also got like, I think, four buildings to go. So yeah, moving on to the next version, the actual big houses. They next two have room for up to 12 players, require architecture 30 points in architecture, and need 7x10 tiles on the ground. And, well, a load of materials. 600 building logs. 600. This is, well, there's already a serious forest that you have to cut down here. 60 metal bands, also quite a lot of ore. Again, the doors and stuff, you know how this works, but I can tell you later on, when you are actually at the point that you can build those buildings or wanna build those, getting this stuff together is rather easy. The ropes will be sitting around somewhere anyways. Making windows is easy. The steel for the locks here could still be kind of annoying. Metal bands will be easy. Building logs, well, okay, gonna be a kind of a pain in the backsides area, but still be yeah, pretty good doable. Also bear in mind that if you are not, how should I put this? The durability of the buildings, or the quality of the durability of the buildings, is only important if you plan to build those buildings outside a claim where they can or would decay. Otherwise, well, I don't see that many people trying to burn down or break down those living houses. It's actually would actually take quite some time to break them down. I'm gonna show you this in another episode where I'm showcasing you the trebuchet. Well, to make this short, you really don't need to look that much into the quality of the components. Some low quality metal bands you may have saved up from grinding, blacksmithing and stuff like that will do quite good. So let's have a look at this one, how it looks when it's completed. Gonna step back a bit and zip. Come on. What the F? Ah, there we go. Okay, the 3-story wooden house. So let's go in the inside. Open it up, and again some nice carvings on the wall and some smaller rooms at here. Don't know, maybe storage, maybe for the children. Oh, I don't know. A little wardrobe. And where was the stair up? Okay, last room, of course. Plenty of room here for a lot of players. I think it's the balcony. Yeah, a balcony over here. We can play Romeo and Juliet and stuff like that. Where was the stairway up? Yeah, they... By the way, this is actually the first time I've been into this type of building. The others I've actually have built at some points somewhere. Those not. So yeah, quite some rooms here, nice windows, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Okay, let's try to find our way back out again. This the... Oh no, I'm still at the... okay. Okay, I actually got lost in a house. There we go, and a door right here. Okay. So, again, 7x10 tiles ground required, room for 12 players, and requires 30 points in architecture to build. And also comes in the stone version, requiring those materials, pretty much the same as the others. I'm not going over those again. Just going to build this one really quick. By the way, in case you are wondering, in the Game Master mode, to insta-complete a building, you just have to press the B key. Okay. Yeah, pretty much the same as the wooden version again. Not much difference this again with the balcony here on the side. Juliet or Juliet. Another balcony kind of thing over there. And looking really nice in general. Well, a ladder randomly standing around here going nowhere. Can't use this anyways here in Life is Feudal. So, and now we come to the two big boys. The biggest buildings available here on LEF. You need 90 points in architecture. You can fit in this buildings up to 16 players. If you would build shacks for 16 players, you would require or would need 256 ground tiles, whereas those big 3-story wooden houses need 7x10, 7x11 tiles, so 77. So it's way more room efficient and also looking cooler. Let's look what we actually need. And again, a ton of building logs and metal bands, obviously lots of doors, windows and ropes for whatever reason. Well, let's look how this one, well, looks. Quite, ooh, that's really big. multiple balconies over there, some laundry hanging out to dry, some panties. Nice feature. Little place for horses or stuff like that maybe. Little outside. Okay, I can't go in there because it's not built on flat ground, but if you build this one the normal way, you can go inside here and, I don't know, store some stuff. Some more laundry, some pants, towels or bed sheet, bedcloths hanging out here. Yeah, I really like how the developers went into all those details here, all those little features which are, well, kind of useless, but make this game so pretty. Really, thank you, Bitbox. It's awesome. So let's check the inside. I'm so gonna get lost into this one. So lots of rooms, lots of space to grow, to get, I don't know, have a landlord with all his peasants living inside here. Wondering where you get to. Maybe here. I just was wondering how I can get the laundry in. Okay, can do some panty sniffing over here, or, well, just leave it hang. Outside stairs to another room. Oh, really nice. So yeah, really big building. Can I actually? Can jump over here. Okay, big 3-story wooden house, and let's go to the last building. The big 3-story stone house. Oop. Again, pretty much the same components required as in all the other houses. Of course, quite a bit more. I mean, building 16 doors is, it's yeah, a lot of steel that you actually need for this. I don't going to count this or do the mass in my mind how many that will be, but, well, still quite a lot. So let's build this one really quick. Oh yeah, baby, that is really nice and impressive. It's actually not only really space efficient, which would be one incentive to build this house, this kind of house. It is also, well, something to actually brag, so to say. Make an impressive, I mean, you can't really make an impressive village to brag with, yeah, this thingies over here. This is looking more like the, I don't even know, something you would put the sheep inside, and this one here, well, really nice building. So let's have a quick look in the inside before I wrap this one up, almost 30 minutes into the video, so yeah. So yeah, this is the last house, the biggest house you can build. In my opinion, the most, the prettiest one you got. I mean, they all look nice, really nice in their way, but in this in the two biggest versions, you've got the most, yeah, detail stuff going on. Most decorative thingies inside them, and yeah, it's really worth to build those, in my opinion, just only for the bragging rights. So yeah, that's all the buildings, the houses you've got or can build in Life is Feudal. Actually, the next few episodes will be all about buildings. The next one I'm not 100% sure, but most likely will be about all the farming buildings you've got. You know, all the stables, windmill, and so on. After that, I'm going to look into the well, crafting workshops and devices from the blacksmith shop. Stuff like bloomeries, kitchen cauldrons, ovens, brewing tank, and so on and so forth. How they look, what they require, what skills to build. They require the materials, the space they need. After that, what did I say? Farming, crafting, then the storage, all kinds of storage you've got, from the smallest crate, oh no, the smallest, actually the bark box, up to the big or the large warehouse. Sorry for that. The large warehouse, and in the last episode, which will be glorious, will be about keeps, castles, and fortifications. Maybe I split those into, I don't know yet. So, a lot of stuff to cover. Yeah, that ends this episode in my series. Thank you all for watching. I hope you liked what you saw, maybe even learned something new. If you did so, please hit that like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more upcoming content on Life is Feudal, your own, and hopefully soonish on Life is Feudal, the MMO RPG. My name is Oskar, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode.